Matter of great joy to see that Uttarakhand government, the state government has released all the 51 temples that were recently mandated to be under the government administration back to the community. This is a very big step for the Hindu Astha, because the Hindu Astha should be in the hands of the community, because without the heart of the devotee, there is no Astha. If the government sees a tourism potential to a temple, they can build infrastructure, they can improve the surroundings, they can make transportation more convenient, accommodations possible, but the temple itself must be run by the devotees. I'm glad the Uttarakhand government has realized this, and my particular congratulations and blessings to the Honorable Chief Minister Tirath Singh that he has taken this step. It's truly wonderful that this step has been taken. This should be a welcome step for the whole country, and I wish more chief ministers take note of this and move in this direction. Well, everywhere else it may not be as simple as it is in Uttarakhand, there may be more complex issues, but whatever the issue, it can be sorted out. If only willingness is there, we can find solutions. I hope the newly elected government in Tamil Nadu will take similar steps, because Tamil temples are particularly in a bad shape, and the number of temples that are there in Tamil Nadu and the type of temples and the level of architecture and the variety of consecrations in Tamil Nadu is probably most prolific, and we must take a similar step. Once again, take this opportunity to congratulate and honor all the people involved in this, the government of Uttarakhand, the Honorable Chief Minister, and above all the people. Water is life. If we destroy our water resources, we destroy future generations right now. This is something that was deeply, profoundly inculcated into our culture, to treat the earth that you walk upon, the air that you breathe, water that you drink, and the food that you consume, which is just earth, always to treat them with utmost reverence. This reverence is very important. If you have to make the water or food or the air that you breathe to give their best to you, well, today textbook scientists will raise up in arms right now the moment I say this, but there is substantial research and documentation to show water has memory, land has memory, soil has memory. Out of this, we arrived at various cultural aspects so that people could benefit from it. In yoga it was fixed that a yogi should eat only what is grown in whatever a person can walk in a day, the distance, within that radius he must eat, because that land in some way retains your memory, and that land, what it produces, has a certain kind of cohesiveness with you. Well, you can laugh at it right now as much as you want, but it'll come to you, because till the research comes from a Western university, you will not get it, but I'm telling you, it's not far away, it's coming. It's just on the way, the documentation is happening. But with water, there is no doubt anymore. Water is considered like a liquid computer, that it has memory and it has intelligence response. It is based on this. In every temple in India, there is sacred water, or what is called as tirth. Tirth is water which has the memory of the divine in it, and how you could benefit from that. You don't have to necessarily go to your temple for tirth. In your own home, you can make this happen. There are simple methods with which you can make it happen. If there is nothing else, make sure, at least for maximum part of your day or your life, ensure that water is stored in a copper or a brass vessel. Copper is best, otherwise a brass vessel. Avoid plastics, and even glass is better, but better to avoid glass also. It is best that it is kept in a copper vessel, And there are some ways to take care of it which we can… I think we've already put this out many times. But your attitude, how you look upon water, if you look upon water like it is a part of you, because it is a part of you, over 2/3 of your body is water, if you recognize that every time before you consume that and express your gratitude every time you consume that, the water behaves in a way that it is most conducive for your life. Water is life-making material. If you don't treat it that way, well, it doesn't treat you that way either. So it's very important that we must learn how to approach all these elements which are the life-making material of earth, water, air, space and fire. All these aspects, we need to approach it with the necessary attitude of inclusion, necessary attitude of reverence, so that they do the best they can for you, especially in these modern times when there are pandemics and irrespective of age, people are having various kinds of deadly diseases like cancer, cardiac ailments and various other things. By managing the elements, you could bring down the incidence of these ailments significantly in your life. It is not like it's a cure right now, it is not like this is it. But for life to happen well, you must understand our efforts to make life happen well is always incremental. This is just one more increment. Neglecting this, there is always a price for that. It's my wish and my blessing. You must know the pleasure and joy of seeing, experiencing and including water